Alrighty YouTube, another one of Kip's clips. So just doing my rounds on the internet this morning and I've decided to go down a wee rabbit hole for the first time in a long time. I've checked this out briefly before in the past. I wanted to just clarify a few things. Actually what I was doing, I was watching the news and it was talking about an area in Italy. They're selling off the old castle, they're privatising the old castle. One of the Pope's old castles, I can't remember the area, and I just seen some footage from in and around the town. It was obviously a very ancient medieval town, and hanging all around it was the Knights Templars cross. Sorry, the England flag, or the Knights Templars cross. What one is it? You see this symbol everywhere, not just in England. You see it on, is it the Georgian flag as well? You'll see this all over the world. A lot of red crosses on white backgrounds and variations of it, so on and so forth. It was just something quick I got up there to just have a quick look at the maps of the world. There, I think that's the Georgian one there, and you've got the Great Britain one, but the English one, the Scottish, the Welsh. Anyway, so the English flag, or the Knights Templars flag, let's have a wee closer look at it. What it represents, for me, the most important thing is when it appears, what it represented when it appears. Well, hopefully we'll explain. Now, this is a warning, I am using Wikipedia. So, go and run with this if you want. Do not take this as verbatim. I am not turning up here and saying I'm any expert on maps. Quite the contrary. I'm turning up here to try and show you just a wee bit of living and learning, trying to sort of explore avenues of where this flag comes from, why it's everywhere across the world, not only on nation flags, on towns flags, on institutions, the full works. So, the flag of England is the St George's Cross, right? So, we'll go into a wee bit about the St George's Cross. The association of the Red Cross as an emblem of England can be traced back to the Middle Ages, and it was used as a component of the design of the Union flag in 1606. 66. However, the English flag has no official status within the United Kingdom. Since the 1990s, it has been increasingly used at particularly national sporting events. Origins, right? Let's see the origins of the English flag. Or as I would like to call it, it's the Knights Templars gang sign, right? It's the Knights Templars gang sign. And I'm not chasing demons, and I'm not chasing lizards, and I'm not trying to be in the here and now and deal with the crap that's happening here. I'm trying to understand where all these cliques and all that come from, and to do that you need to try and explore a wee bit of history, okay? So it's good to be in the here and now and deal with what's happening in front of you, yeah, but it's also important to look at history. History's got a flow, and if you understand, the more history you understand, the more you understand of what's happening just now, I believe anyway. So let's look at the time frame. Now, in 1188, Henry II of England and Philip II of France agreed to go on a crusade. It's from the Crusades. Henry would use a white cross, Philip a red one. 13th century authorities are unanimous on the point that the English king adopted the white cross and the French king the red one, and not vice versa as suggested by later use. It's not clear at which point the English exchanged the white cross for the red on white one. Okay, so there you go, the absolute countries that have been at war numerous times and alliances and stuff. England and France both uniting underneath the red cross on the white background. There is historical graphical tradition claiming that Richard the Lionheart himself adopted both the flag and the partition and the patron saint of Genoa at some point during his crusade. The idea can be traced to the Victoria era. Perrin 1922 refers to it as a common belief and is still popularly repeated today, even though it cannot be substantiated as historical. Red crosses seem to have been used as a distinguishing mark worn by English soldiers from the reign of Edward in 1270. Okay, this is just before the Knights Templar got burnt at the stake. Now, another wee tangent here. A wee while ago, I done a clip about. I was talking about bloodlines and stuff, and I was talking about the Knights Templar. I got my dates mixed up and said that the Knights Templars get burnt at the stake around 1000, or is it 1002 or 1003? But I made a mistake. It's actually like in the 1300s. But that was a genuine mistake, a genuine slip of the tongue, because I'm not sitting here with a big script ready to read to you like a parrot. So that was a genuine mistake. Or perhaps slightly earlier, in the Battle of Evesham in 1265. Now, at the time this is happening, the Crusades have already happened. Just pause that there for a wee second. I wanted to grab some more information. So I just was talking about the time period of the Crusades. So the Crusades started in 1095 and ended apparently till 1291. Now, after the Crusades ended, during the Crusades, the Knights Templar, this is when I believe the Knights Templar cemented their power. From my, whether you call it limited research or limited knowledge, the way I see things as they stand at the moment, my opinion, my thoughts and feelings is the Knights Templar were not only, like, obviously the military, one of the hardest, most prominent military wings, but they were also the first international bankers, and that, I believe, is where the people who are in charge today's power actually stem from. At the time, you had the Crusades wanting to expand Christendom down to the Holy Lands. The Vatican sanctioned orders. The Knights Templar were one of those orders sanctioned to go and fight in the Crusades. One of their jobs is, one of their functions as well, was to facilitate commerce between Christendom. It wasn't called Europe or anything at the time, it was just one big Christendom under the Vatican. So during the Crusades, the Knights Templar used their ability to, their first paper money, the first promissory notes, to transfer wealth on a bit of paper over large geographical areas. This was when fractional reserve banking first started. That's when the alarm bells for fractional reserve banking and the absolute scam of it first came into prominence, when they first realised that paper money would be accepted as currency. And the people that are in charge today have the exact same philosophy. So they are the Knights Templar. I know I keep going on about this. Oh, it's the Jews. Oh, it's the Zionists. Oh, it's the Vatican. Yes, it is all them, but they are all under the umbrella of the Knights fucking Templar. These are just all umbrella groups that are given names in case if anybody really gets so pissed off with them, they can just chop off that one. But ultimately, the head of the umbrella still remains, and that's the Knights Templar. They remain in everything but name. I'm going to run out of time, but the Knights Templar, they were burnt at the stake of 1307 by the French king, Henry IV, I believe. Philip IV, I believe, because that was at the point, they say it was because he was in too much debt to the Knights Templar. How does a king get in debt to a military order that's got alliances to the Vatican? How does a military order who was sanctioned and endorsed by the Vatican to go and fight in these crusades then become more powerful than the Vatican, come back after the crusades to Rome, demand extra rights and privileges, basically putting them above everybody else, so much so he put the Pope's nose out of joint and all the kings of Europe, particularly the French kings' nose out of joint, to lead them to want to burn them at the stake. A lot of people would believe that, and I believe that's why the Masonic French Revolution happened. It was getting back at the French king for burning Jacques de Molay at the stake. French Revolution's, I think, it's the first Masonic revolution I'm aware of, and so on and so forth. So the English flag is the Knights Templars emblem. The Knights Templar, let's see if I can see a date on here. It was endorsed from the Church in 1129. The St George's Cross. Now, I know this is all over the place, but I hope the information speaks for itself. So I'm surmising. Let me just get back on track here. Try and get some form of. Right, so I'm saying the flag of England it isn't the flag of England. It's the Knights Templars gang sign that you'll find everywhere. It has nothing to do with the land of England. I know this thing might represent Englishness or England to some people right now. That is absolutely fair dues. I'm not disputing that flag is not the English flag. All I'm saying is its origins are the Knights Templar, who were nothing to do with had no more to do with England than they did France, Rome, anything. They were international bankers with a fucking army with men with swords and fucking horses and shields willing to go and fight and kill people for the benefit of the international bank of the Knights Templar. Anyway, so I wanted to go into the story of St George's Cross. I know this is all over the place, but hopefully you get where I'm going. I'm going to run out of time. Historically, the cross appeared on many flags, emblems and coats of arms, such as this Swabian League in the late medieval Germany, and it remains or was reintroduced as an emblem of several countries and cities which have it or have it. St George as a patron saint, notably England, Georgia, Aragon, Genoa and Barcelona. The cross is also found for various reasons on the provincial flag of, I'm not going to murder these names, there was something really interesting that I've seen, but that can't be there. St George. So that's what it was. This is where I wanted to go. What it was? Who is St George? Yeah, this is where I wanted to go. Sorry, St George. So this Knights Templars flag is meant to be. Sorry. Origins, right? There's St George, the origins of St George. St George became very popular as a warrior during the Third Crusades. There was a legend that he had miraculously assisted Godfrey of Bouillon, and Richard the Lionheart placed himself under his protection as the siege of... I'm trying to find the information. I was hoping... sorry about this. Well, I think that's 1190, okay, was when Wikipedia surmises that this emblem was brought to England. And it was officially, the Knights Templar themselves was endorsed by the church in 1129. Right, so let's see, I'm all over the place here. 1129. Okay, so you have the St George's Cross representing the Catholic Church in Christendom. Okay, hopefully I'll get into that. The St George's Cross doesn't represent England, it represents the Catholic, St George of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. I think that's the point I'm trying to make there. The dates as well. It turns up in England as early as the 1190s. But we see the Knights Templars being endorsed by the Catholic Church in 1129. And I should have been more organised with this information, but as you will find, hold on, it's in here. Yeah, there.